Okay, we back with Harley. Let's continue. The stuff they shot him up with must still be floating around in his head because George falls into a doze, head down and spittle slipping from one corner of his mouth. Sometime later, still 115 according to his still 115 according to his pappy watch, a door opens up above and someone starts down the steps. George raises his head, another bolt of pain, but not so bad, and sees black low-top sneakers, ankle socks, trimmed brown pants, then a flowered apron. It's Emily Harris with a tray. George stands up. What is going on here? She doesn't answer, only set the tray down about 2 feet from the cage. On it is a bulgy brown envelope stuck into the top of a big plastic go-cup, the kind you fill with coffee for a long drive. Next to it is a plate with something nasty on it, a slab of dark red meat floating in even darker red liquid. Just looking at it makes George feel like vomiting again. If you think I'm going to eat that, Emily, think again. She makes no reply, only takes the broom and pushes the tray along the concrete. There is a hinge flap in the bottom of the cage. They have been planning this, George thinks. The gold cup falls over when it hits the top of the flap, which is only 4 inches or so high. Then the tray goes through. The flap claps shuts when she pulls the broom back. The meat swimming in a puddle of blood looks to be uncooked liver. Emily Harris straightens up, puts the broom back, turns and gives him a smile as if they are at a fucking cocktail party or something. I'm not going to eat that, George repeats. You will, she say. With that, she goes back upstairs. He hears a door close, followed by a snapping sound and probably a bolt being run. Looking at the raw liver makes George feel like yerking some more, but he takes the envelope out of the go-cut. It's something called cassava. According to the label, the powder inside makes a nutrient-dense drink that's fuel your adventures. George feels he had enough adventures in the last, however long, to last a lifetime. He puts the packet back in the go-cut and sits on the futon. He pushes the tray to one side without looking at it. He closes his eyes. He dozes, he wakes, dozes again, then wakes for real. The headache is almost gone and his stomach has settled. He winds Pappy watch and set it for noon, or maybe for midnight, doesn't matter. At least he can keep track of how long he's here. Eventually someone, maybe the male half of this crazy Professor Combo, will tell him why he's here and what has he done to get out. George guesses it won't make a whole lot of sense because these two are obvious loco. Lots of professors are loco. He's been in enough schools on the writers and residence circuit to know that. But the Harrises take it to a whole nother level. Eventually he plucks the packet of cassava from the go-cut, which is obvious meant for mixing the stuff up with remaining bottles of Dasani. The cup is from Dillon's, a truck stop in Redland, where George and Freddie sometimes have breakfast. He would like to be there now. He'd like to be in Ayers Chapel, listening to one of the Reverend Gallatin's born-ass sermon. He'd like to be in the doctor's office waiting for a exam. He would like to be anywhere but here. He has no reasons to trust anything the crazy Harrises give him. But now that the nonsense worn off, he's hungry. He always eats light before running, saving a heavier intake for when he comes back. The envelope is sealed, which means it's probably okay. But he looks over it carefully for pinpricks before tearing it open and pouring it into the go-cut. He adds water, closes the lids, and shakes well, as the instructions say. He tastes, then chugs. He doubts very much if it has been inspired by ancient wisdom. as the label says, but it's fairly tasty. Chocolate like a frappe. If frappe were plant-based, when it's gone, he looks at the raw liver again. He tries pushing the tray back out through the flap, but at first he can't because the flap only swings in. He works his fingernails under the bottom and pulls it up. He shoves the tray out. "Hey!" he shouted at the glass eye peering down at him. "Hey, what do you want? Let's talk. Let's work this out." Nothing. 6 hours has passed. This time it's the male Hearst who descends the stairs. He's in pajamas and slippers. His shoulders are broad but he's skinny the rest of the way down. And the pajamas, decorated with fire trucks like a child, flapped on him. Just looking at this old dude gives George a sense of unreality. Can this really be happening? "What do you want?" Hearst makes no reply, only looks at the rejected tray on the concrete floor. He looks at the flap, then back to the tray. A couple more times for good, measures tray, flap, tray. Then goes to the broom and pushes it back in. George has had enough. He holds the flap and shoves the tray back out. The blood puddle splashes one cuff of Hearst's PJ bottoms. Hearst lowered the broom to push it back. Then decides that he will be a zero-sum game. He leans the broom against the side of the stairs again and prepares to mount them. There is not much to him below those broad shoulders, but the deceitful motherfucker looks agile enough. "Come back," George say. "Let's talk about this man to man." And I'll be back. We'll holler.